Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right. And to avoid lazy negativity, we have decided to make this episode a drinking game.
A big drinking game.
Crack a tinny. So whenever we say anything negative at all about this film, about each other, about how Dave causes pip in poultry, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means we're taking a drink, and we hope you drink along with us.
Oh, that's funny.
So pour yourselves a glass as we go to monochrome for the 39 steps, which is also how many steps Jeff will need if he keeps drinking whiskey on this show.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, friends.
Ooh.
That's right, friends. The random year, Jesus, the random year generator spun 1935. Not a ton of quality movies that you can actually access from anywhere available, but on Max, or HBO Max, as Dave said last week.
Yep,
on HBO Max. Yeah, you speak Australian. On HBO Max right now is Alfred Hitchcock's The 39 Steps. So that's what we're going to be doing for our featured conversation, hence the little gags at the beginning. John's got some mini reviews, maybe a little bit of news, maybe a gripe or two so that we can get drinking, because this is a real drinking podcast to keep us positive. We'll give you our recommendations for the week at the end of the episode. But if you just need to get to the 39 steps here today on your busy weekday, scoot along, check the show notes, and find our conversation. But also listen to the year in review, because I think 1935, I'm doing a real concise little one this week. And it's going to set the scene.
We shall see.
For what was going on. Hey,
Every week. Every week.
No, this one's quick. I promise. John, you want to shout our sponsors out?
Yeah, I will. I will shout our sponsors out. Carlos Barroso makes beer. You can go to the show notes to see his handle, cbarroso.beer, and follow all of his Cicerone. Is that the word I said?
You did last week. You said Cicerone.
Beer
I made a
song.
ton of cabaret jokes and nobody got it. Fuckers.
That's too bad. Dave made a joke and we did not get it. We also have
You'll get this though.
an artist in residence named Dasein, Dasein, who makes music, and he lets us use it for free. Dasein,
right.
Dasein. Go to the show notes and follow the links to all the usual music platforms, and you can download the entire motherfucking canon. It's a lot of music. It's wonderful. Thank you, Dasein.
It's not entirely for free. We have to occasionally have him on the show and he makes him sound smarter than us. So
You mean
that's
we
right.
get to have him on the show.
He costs us our credibility.
Come on, Dave. He's giving it to us for free, bro.
I know, but
All
we
right.
occasionally let him come on and embarrass us. It's great.
Yes,
Aw.
go check our
It's-
previous episodes and find out which ones Dasein was on. And also listen to his groovy music. It's pretty cool. You hear it throughout the episode.
Fucking
All
good
right,
shit.
let's get to it. Why not?
Yeah, let's do it.
John, you got 2 mini reviews. You want to fire them away?
I do. This was the Labor Day weekend, folks. If anybody's not really paying attention to the feed and just press play, this is the Monday. This is literally Labor Day. So this past weekend, Weapons held at number 1. I saw in theaters number 2 and number 3. Number 2 of the Labor Day weekend of 2025 was the re-release of Jaws for the 50th anniversary.
You're right.
That took number 2. I think it cleared
How's the numbers
$9.9
gonna
million.
cope with that?
Isn't that crazy? I think it's 9.9. I'm looking it up on Variety right now. Let's just say that's true. Let's say it's 9.9. It was fun. The audience loved it. There was a couple dressed up as fucking sharks, in onesies. Everybody had on their shirts. Everybody was clapping and screaming at the theater. It was fun. It was really fun. It was a really great audience. And the sound mix, I did not go see it a few years ago when they released it for a very short, weird run that I didn't understand why it was in theaters then. But I was like, what is this going to sound like in IMAX? Because, that's a very famous mono mix. It's one of the last great big films. It's kind of the first blockbuster, but it had a mono mix. So it didn't do what Star Wars did just the following year when it changed sound forever. So I was always curious, what the fuck does Jaws sound like in a giant theater, much less in IMAX? And it works. It's spread. They do some really interesting things with it. There's a lot of bass presence that obviously did not exist before LFE was a thing.
Because what are they going to do? Because you don't know if a shark is behind you. You can't hear it.
Guys, all right, so I'm just going to say the first thing. Honestly, anyone who is interested, you have one more day to go see it. I think it's through Tuesday. I think you can go see it tomorrow if you want. The coolest thing about it is to give you that sound mix, and I literally saw people's heads moving like this. black screen. We knew it started, because it's not in full 1:9. So we saw like the actual film's aspect ratio come on, and we could see that kind of gradation in the film. And we knew visually it had begun. And then you heard the sounds of water moving and all over you. And everybody's heads are like moving around because I don't know, it was just fun. It was fun. They did a really good job with the sound mix. Anyway, doesn't fucking matter.
Then
Jaws
it turns
is
out
great.
they put on
Good times.
Sharknado by mistake.
I hear it's good.
no.
And I love that.
That's a
I love that the cast of Jaws gets percentage because like literally like a boy that dies in this is still getting paychecks. It's so fun that they all made money this week because John and his buddies decided to spend some money at the theater.
Guys, Universal released it into 3,200 theaters this week.
Yeah.
They were not playing around.
Well,
Okay.
gosh, I hope this works. No, everyone's going to see
Now-
this.
Jaws is really fun. Jaws does not need our love and our help and our affection because Jaws is awesome and everybody knows it. It proved it decades and decades and decades ago, and it's still rocking and rolling. But what does need our love is number 3. I fucking love Darren Aronofsky. And anyone who's been in the movie theater recently has seen probably some trailers for, as Jeff referred to it, the Austin Butler cat film.
Yeah.
And that is,
That's
that
correct.
is, this is Darren Aronofsky's fun film. This is like his comedy. It's still fucked up. It's still transgressive. There's some wonderful violence, some really, really, really great performances. All the stuff you want is there. Please go see this movie. It just got better and better and better. I mean, it was so much fun in the theater. And we did have a full theater and everybody fucking loved it. So if this needs some word of mouth attention, so 2 hosts, you guys definitely are going to want to go see it. It's really fun. And tell people to go see it too, because for some reason it doesn't seem to be getting the hype around it that
You're
I think
right.
it deserves.
Because John's seen all of our Aronofsky's films and he's a fan of every one of them.
I really am. Honestly, you're going to watch this.
True.
and
Are you being
I hope-
facetious? I think he is.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of him. It's going to be fun. I hope everybody, I'm going to
Look
go
at
and
the
plant this
list.
motherfucking seed just because I think it's awesome. He's got such range, dude. Walk out of this movie theater, and I'm not going to say it on this show, but
Not during
remind
the movie,
yourself
after
after the theater, after the movie, you walk out of the theater, remind yourself what his previous movie was. Just to be like, wow, he made that, and then he
Noah?
made this. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, not that one. The only one that I don't love so much.
What do you think I was getting at?
I never,
I know what you
I
were
never
saying.
forget my friend when the font came on. He goes, "I hate that font. I hate this movie already."
I mean, it's so
Took a
easy
swing.
to offend people with type.
Also, Dave and I are cat dads, so we got to go see it on behalf of cats in movies.
Yeah, hey, I'm not a huge fan of cats. Like cat, whatever they're to me. I'm not a cat owner, and this cat is super cute. Oh, come on.
You can't use
cat's
the
super
buzzer for
cute.
that.
It's 2 dogs.
And he's going to play with your emotions with the cat. So
Ah.
be wary, cat owners.
I was sort of hoping for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's a part of it for sure. All right, let's do it.
Hold on, I can't find my coaster. There it is. Okay, I got it.
Get a fucking ring. Come on.
A ring.
A condensation ring.
Yeah, but I'm in a shared space here. I mean, nobody's in here now. thank God.
Condensation ring, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Okay, anyway, so we're going to keep the show moving. But before we get to 1935, any news? I mean, the weekend was kind of slow. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Anything going on in the town? Dave, any postings for jobs that surprised you this week?
Not really, although there's not a lot posting in Atlanta at the moment because Marvel's basically moved out of there to England.
Poor Atlanta.
So
That's
they're
fucking-
toast.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a
I
huge
can't
deal.
believe they're not getting railed for that more.
Remember when that was part of
This
the
is like the
tariff conversation,
temple.
and then it's just like
This is
happened
what-
and nobody's doing anything about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's one of the tent poles of the industry, whether you like it or not. You got to respect they've had a gigantic footprint, and they have officially announced
Still
that they're not going to be here, and they're not getting held accountable for that. Like, why aren't they getting roasted by a lot of people for that?
Well,
I don't understand.
I think just a lot of people stopped going to their movies.
well,
It's-
maybe, I mean, like
It's
within
happening,
the
just not
industry, like,
publicly. Yeah. Oh, they're getting roasted
like-
within the industry. I've seen it.
I
Yeah.
hope it needs to happen. Like, we need to start yelling at people who can't afford to not have to save every penny, that are just choosing to not make them in America, and then tell America they're about America. Like,
Well,
There's
apparently
something weird
the
there
big
to me.
the big thing that's driving them away now is healthcare, because they have to pay for the healthcare, and they don't want to pay for healthcare. They just go to a country where the healthcare is free, and you don't have to pay for the
who are they
healthcare.
whose health care are they paying for?
Doesn't
Actors.
SAG? I thought SAG
Yeah.
covers that. have to,
No, apparently they have to. Might be crew. I'm not sure, but they have to pay. There's a huge healthcare cost associated now.
Okay.
directly through the unions. They're
Yeah.
making them pay directly into like a healthcare pension for each union.
Well, I
or
know
something? That seems.
they do that in mine.
They do.
They
I mean,
make,
you
they
do
make
have
them
to pay
pay
the
into the
pension.
welfare fund.
All right.
But-
I'm still, all I'm hearing though is that you're telling me that giant $1 billion fucking organization is refusing to pay for healthcare for fucking union workers.
But also, when you
what I'm
stop and
hearing.
think, like, they go into a country that already has free healthcare for everyone.
I know.
So-
No, I know. But I mean, like,
You know, maybe do the other
come on.
thing so they don't
Sure.
leave.
Sure. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right?
I am hoping that we're going to hear more news on this because it feels a little weird. Like a lot of the Disney films have been making, have only been made over there. It's a big deal that the Mandalorian film was shot right fucking here, baby, in Santa Monica and Long Beach and the Favreau's studios that he likes to shoot at.
Yeah.
They haven't done that in a long time. So I was hoping that it was going to start trying to pull people back. And then Marvel makes this announcement. It's kind of like,
Right.
oh, okay.
Actually-
Well, the most prolific
Oh,
studio that's around here right now.
They were already well on their way by the time this came around.
I
and
know,
now
but
they
now
just-
it's a fit. Now they said it. Now they're
Yeah.
owning it. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right, whatever.
Speaking of Marvel, Chris Pratt was on. I listened to him on Bill Maher's podcast, and he was talking about how he is doing a show with the guy from oh my god, what the fuck, Antoine Fuqua. He's
Mhm.
doing a TV show with him that's coming out, whose name I totally remember. I just don't want to bomb on the podcast here. Is it the not the Electric State? The fuck is it?
No, Electric State's already
Electric
happened.
State?
The real
Yeah.
McCoy? No, Cowboy Ninja.
I've
what
seen
the fuck is it?
15. I've seen
God
15 minutes of
damn it.
the Electric State, and that's it.
Oh,
What the
that's
fuck
too
is
bad.
the name of this
I
book?
never saw it. That's
Anyway,
a
I'm
Russo
such a
brothers
dick.
film, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, and if they put my
Yes.
fucking subscription up over that, I'm going to be
Oh my
pissed.
god, I overlooked it. I'm so sorry. The Terminal List. The Terminal List with
The
him
Terminal
and
List.
Antoine Fuqua, and he insisted on shooting it in California because that's where he lives, and he was tired of traveling to Atlanta all the time to make these movies, including the Russo's brother, which he had to shoot in Atlanta, and so. He had to ask crew members and everybody to take pay cuts in order to stay in California. So the most expensive state to live in, with Hollywood there, and the most incestuous like matriculation of money. Where if you have a movie there, every industry and like middle out economics can't be better than a movie set. But he had to basically everybody had to ask to take slightly less than they got for their previous project.
Yeah,
keep
they had to
everybody in
divert
California.
5% of everyone's income just for the fucking permits.
Which seems like
maybe.
all respect to Chris Pratt and all these wonderful, wonderful A-list actors to help get these movies and these television shows funded, but kind of feels like maybe there's a way for you to reroute some of your income to these people so that it doesn't
Supposedly
actually
did.
feel like that for people who
I mean,
need it.
what I saw is that he's still getting paid pretty well, of course, but he also, as a producer, is thinking that he can make more money in the future if it's really good, and
Sure,
so he
sure.
is theoretically taking a cut now for the hit later, like the Seinfeld people that got $600,000 an episode as opposed to Friends' $1 million, but they had a higher back end compensation.
Equity in it.
Anyway.
Yeah. I heard Barry Jenkins on the James Deacon podcast this past week, which was excellent. Great interview. And he made a comment in
He was
there.
great.
I've heard this before, but it's a good little saying. I hadn't heard it in a while. That one of his producer friends often talks about how everybody in this industry, or at least in this town, it feels like everybody's more interested in making a killing than making a living. And there's something to that. If we are up against AI and anything that could happen in the future that is going to disrupt and take jobs away, and we need to start thinking more practically about kind of how the theater has how to think more practically about how to make sure that we're entertaining and competitive. And you're probably going to have to readjust your expectations monetarily as well.
Yeah.
We need to think more about just keeping people employed consistently than trying to get people paid as much as possible all the time. But this is an interesting little case study where somebody's saying, I want to shoot here. I don't know if the answer is convincing your crew who is already underpaid to not get paid their full amount.
I know. Well, and that's just like, and
something about that feels weird.
the town comes up a lot now with the podcast Town with Matt Bellany. He had Adam Aaron, the CEO of AMC, on this week, and sorry, my favorite part was the pushback about how Adam Aaron was talking about how they're getting closer to their pre-pandemic levels of money. They used to make $10-11 billion a year, and apparently this year they might make $9 billion, which I was surprised. And I was really happy that Matt Bellany pushed back, and he's like, yes, because you're making the ticket prices so expensive. So you're getting way fewer people, but you're just charging them more. So fewer people are going to go less, but you're going to get your money. I think that's bad for the business. And there was a little pushback for that. And I was very happy about that because you're right, John, because from a business perspective, it's like we're almost back to our numbers. And then it's like, but what numbers? Are you really admitting
yet-
your lifelong
yes.
film
They
fix?
just
'Cause you're
announced
talking
that
a big game, but you're
this-
admitting that that's not your business model.
They just announced this summer was like 25% down on last year.
But again, is it money or ticket? Because I guess if they are 11 billion, no, I think you're right, but that might also be attendance, but some of the large screen formats are dominating again this year. So who knows?
Taking that into, do you think there's a fucking world where they lower prices by $5 to $7 per region? Like, whatever would make sense.
Certainly not
And
in
it
the
would shoot
cities.
up.
No one's lowering their fucking
No, in the
prices now.
cities.
They're in it to win it.
Not in
But
the
I'm
cities.
saying if they did though, do you think more people would go? Like, do you think that theory would hold that it is just so expensive now that there's an inconvenience that never existed for most of the history of movies? It was considered kind of poor man's entertainment. Honestly, that was a recent thing that happened in the aughts.
Well, they're adding Tuesdays and Wednesdays for discounts because like Tuesday was the day they got people and then their numbers went up. So they're going to add the Wednesday discount that they have for Tuesday for AMC specifically. But another thing that he mentioned, since the seating priorities, like the priority seating payments didn't go as well as they thought, where like premium seats cost more. And then if you're in the front row or the outside, you pay significantly less. But actually decreasing prices over time, the same way that you do for rentals, right? When a new movie comes out, it's $20 or $25 to rent. But if it's been a renter for a month, it's down to $9.99 to rent. And then if
He
it's
was
been out for
floating that
year,
as a
it's
possibility?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Unless
Well,
it's made by Disney.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by AMC, but we should be.
But the
We
thing is,
all
what's
have
annoying is he
A-list,
has
and
to-
that is still the best way to save money. Get
that's
your
right.
subscribership.
I donated
Like,
to them
go.
this month.
And go.
So
Go.
If you
Yeah,
go twice
okay.
a month, you're going to save money. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. All right,
Let's get to the show. Anything you want to gripe about, Dave?
Nope, I'm good.
There's lots I want to gripe about, but I don't nothing coherent right now. So let's go into our 1935 in review. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, shamelessly, I'm going to go with Wikipedia, but I'm going to tell you why. I looked up Box Office Mojo for the highest grossing movies of 1935, and I double checked the numbers. And each of those sites had one movie, which was Top Hat. It's the only movie they had box office receipts for that they felt confident enough to lift on their sites.
Wow.
Actually, when you Google
okay.
1935 Box Office Mojo highest grossing films, the response was no data available. So,
Like if you're going to open a website that does that, do the work, people. Come on. Make it up or something like Wikipedia does.
I didn't want to give anything away, but Top Hat is not the number one highest grossing movie of the year, although it is number two. What was the highest grossing movie that came out in the year 1935?
Captain Blood.
Is that a movie?
It's not that, I guess. Bride of Frankenstein.
I've seen the porn.
Okay, okay. Buzz is all around. Bride of Frankenstein. I saw that in some other lists. It is not on this Wikipedia list, but John, it did pretty well. So who the fuck knows? No, actually, Mutiny on the Bounty is the highest grossing movie.
Mutiny on the
Bounty.
the original, right?
Yeah.
Isn't this the original? Yeah.
That is right.
Not
It's
the
not
one
the Marlon
starring Mel
Brando one.
Gibson. There's an older one.
Okay, that's right. Okay. Anyway, that's right. So number one is Mutiny on the Bounty by MGM. The domestic rentals, again, they didn't trust international receipts. Sorry, Dave from Australia. But the domestic rentals is $2.25 million. Top Hat for RKO comes in at number two. This is, of course, Top Hat with
Fred.
Fred
Is it Fred?
Astaire. Yes. And featuring the song Cheek to Cheek, which you may know very famously, which was written by Irving Berlin, although it did not win the Oscar for Best Song. More on that later. That's right. Number three, China Seas. Number four, Broadway Melody of 1936. And number five, David Copperfield are all MGM movies. So that is 4 out of the top 5 go to MGM in 1935. And to
There's a
round out
reason
the
they're
top
owned
10,
by Amazon now.
I mean, hey, I don't know how many people are going back to this time period because we couldn't find any of this shit on our when we were looking for them. But Steamboat Round the Bend, 20th Century Fox. Number 6, The Crusades. Number 7 for Paramount. Roberta for RKO. Number 8, In Old Kentucky. And The Littlest Rebel are 9 and 10, both 20th Century Fox films at about $1.4 million. So honestly, on the whole, all within about 50% of your top choice Mutiny on the Bounty. So it seems pretty
Also,
spread out.
I'll say this without the safety of a grind timer. What the fuck is with Amazon buying MGM and then creating the MGM Plus streaming service so you have to pay for 2 fucking subscriptions? What the fuck?
Weird,
You got to
right?
pay for that. You got to pay for that Venice wedding, man. Okay. A couple fun things. The Little Colonel premieres starring Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore, and Bill Robinson.
I'm so glad I waited
Featuring
for
a
the cast before I made a joke about that.
Featuring a famous stare dance with Hollywood's first interracial dance couple. Famous stare dance from The Little Colonel. Gene Autry stars as himself in The Singing Cowboy in the serial The Phantom Empire. He would later be voted the #1 Western star from 1937 to 1942. I don't know if John Wayne would take over, and I also don't know why 1937 to 1942. I guess they're like, World War II's coming. We got to get our awards in now because we're going to take a couple years break. 7-year-old Shirley Temple, who I just mentioned, was in The Little Colonel, wins the first Special Academy Juvenile Award, which sounds like something I don't want to be a part of at all ever again. Academy Juvenile Award.
Yeah.
We just talked about MGM and RKO doing really well. Steamboat Around the Bend, and then those last two from 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox was actually merged from Fox Film and 20th Century Pictures to merge into 20th Century Fox this year, 1935.
And now they're back to 20th century.
Similarly, following the merger of 6 smaller independent companies, including Monogram Pictures, Mascot Pictures, Liberty Pictures, Majestic Pictures, Herbert J. Yates, completed the formation of Republic Pictures.
Sound familiar? It's like streaming services now.
Kind of. And Gene Autry's film was in the newly formed Republic Pictures. Tumbling Tumbleweeds, which is actually his second film of the year, named after the 2nd million selling record. How about that? Gene Autry, musician, going to Hollywood. Interesting. Judy Garland signs a contract with MGM. That went well for us. I don't know how it went for her. But yes, she signed her contract here in 1935, and we know the results of that at least 4 years later for sure. And last but not least, the British-made film Scrooge was the first all-talking film version of Charles Dickens's novel A Christmas Carol, opened in the US and the UK, release on November 26th. Seymour Hicks plays Ebenezer Scrooge, a role he played on stage hundreds of times, but the film is criticizing for not showing all of the ghosts physically, and it quickly fades into obscurity. Widespread interest does not surface until the film is showed on television in the 80s in a very shabby-looking prints. It is eventually restored on DVD, but apparently people were like, where are the fucking ghosts? They didn't show them the ghosts! They didn't do it.
Guys, I got a great pitch. We're going to do the ghosts, the biggest part of the story, off-screen. They'll never see it coming.
What if they also had Tiny Tim, but you never saw him on camera?
It's just the top of his head, like fucking Al on like Home Improvement.
We have a friend, John and I have a friend from college that did a van
not Al, the neighbor.
Wilson.
Yeah. John and I have a friend from college that did a van tour of A Christmas Carol. And Tiny Tim was played by an adult girl that was short with a really high-pitched voice. And she was so sick she couldn't make sound. So they did the show without Tiny Tim. They did a full performance, charging tickets. And he was Bob Cratchit. And he just said, God blesses everyone at the end. And people were not happy. I think they ran to the van after that one. Okay. And the only award stuff I want to say here is Mutiny on the Bounty would go on to win Best Picture. But John Ford would win Best Director. Here, this is the 8th Academy Awards. I remember last time we were talking about the 15th recently, and he already had 4 Oscars, but yes, here we are at the 8th, and he wins for The Informer. Best Actor, Victor McLaghlin, also would win for The Informer. And Bette Davis, we love Bette Davis. Bette Davis would win for Dangerous, would win her Oscar. The most awards would go to The Informer, which again is RKO. And Best Song was not Cheek to Cheek. It was instead Lullaby of Broadway from Gold Diggers of 1935. I don't know if that's good trivia or not, but that's it for my movie stuff. Any other movies you want to shout out? Do you guys know any other 1935 movies you want to mention?
I don't.
No, I mean, how about fucking like Night at the Opera? There are some things that people have seen from back then.
Is that the animated one where Bugs Bunny keeps fucking with the conductor?
No, it's the Marx Brothers. You never seen that one? Come on, I don't know. This was a. I guess I just want to call out the decade one more time since we haven't been to the 30s in a while. This was still when Hollywood was on top. Before the war kind of threw everything off, the studio system was still in full fucking throttle. There were a bunch of releases. So like every famous book you've ever fucking heard of was made into a movie at some point in this decade. These movies are worth watching. They are, as we're going to talk about.
Any rights they could get for free or any writer they could strong arm, they took.
Sure. They got it.
Well, like, hey, write the script for us.
It's just so interesting. You can't think about, and I'm going to reciprocate that. I'm going to say this one more fucking time when we actually start talking about it. But I challenge you to pick any of these famous movies and sit down and think about how few years previous to these movies they were silent. They were almost a different medium. I mean, it was still visual, it was still movies, but how that shakeup happened not that long ago.
It was like some old lady at the front playing an organ, and that was it.
It's pretty crazy. Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, I have a couple fun. I have a couple like I think things that you should know from 1935, and then a couple little silly fun ones. So I'm going to keep it snappy here. You ready?
Let's go.
The first parking meter in the world was installed in Oklahoma City in July of 1935. Those fuckers.
Ooh. And now those fuckers have an app. You don't even need the machine.
Parking meter. Yeah, but every time I park, it's a different app. And one time I had it and the app didn't work.
I've been to, there's one that's catching on because I've been to 3 cities now that have the same app.
Park Mobile?
I'm like, sweet. Yeah, that one.
Is it a yellowish, orangish one?
No, I think it's the greenish one.
It's green.
The green one I've had before too.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. The Hoover Dam, one of the largest and most impressive engineering projects of its time, was completed in 1935. Here you go, Dave. Thanks to 1935.
Been there. Yeah.
The first SUV was the Chevy Suburban in 1935, and it's the longest continuous use.
Can I say, for 35, that dam was fucking impressive.
It's still impressive
now.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't know. A couple other fun little pieces. Well, not fun. Sorry, this isn't fun. The Nuremberg laws started. They were enacted here in September 1935. Nazi Germany enacted the Nuremberg laws, which institutionalized racial discrimination against Jews. Let's move on from that. The Social Security Act in the United States passed. The landmark legislation created a system of old age benefits, unemployment insurance to aid with families with dependent children, which may be gone by the time we're that age. So who knows? I think the biggest story was the Dust Bowl. Severe dust storms continue to ravage the Great Plains of the United States. This is years after the Great Depression, but this is a big, big environmental disaster with a lot of poor people getting displaced like crazy and getting sick because of it. How about a more fun one? Monopoly, the board game, was first published by the Parker brothers in 1935.
Wow.
The first Penguin books.
Wait, hang on a minute. They published Monopoly straight after the fucking Depression?
Yeah.
Dude, pick your moment.
America, baby. Or does that just say everything you need to know?
Do something that brings back capitalism.
The first 10 paperback titles on Penguin books came out in 1935, revolutionizing the publishing industry. Elvis was born. British scientist Robert Watson
That's a pretty big one.
Invented radar. Nylon was invented this year. And how about this? The first canned beer was invented this year. The first canned beer, which was a Gottfried Kruger Brewing Company.
Year of Australia.
Major League Baseball's first night game, Babe Ruth's last season, and the Long March in China. The first year we started fighting, sure. The discovery of vitamin E of mice and men was published. John.
Wow, yes.
Porgy and Bess, the opera, came out this year by the Gershwins. Pavarotti was born this year. Woody Allen. I mean, there's a lot of big birds, but let's go into some more fun trivia here. Here we go.
Wait. I didn't know Pavarotti and Elvis were at the same age.
Pavarotti,
it makes
Elvis,
sense,
and
but
Woody
I've never put that together. That's so good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's good.
Mm-hmm. Pavarotti and Elvis. They should have sung together, but Elvis couldn't leave the country.
One of those three's parents should have used a condom, but I'm not going to ask any questions about Elvis because last time I got in trouble. So
here's some fun trivia. Elvis only won 2 Grammys. What category were those Grammys in?
Oh, God, dude, I don't even know any Grammys categories.
Sinful as shit?
Sinful, yes, that's right.
Is one of them like a movie song?
No, gospel.
Gospel,
sure.
Okay.
Grammys. That's it. Okay, that's it. Top 10 baby names in 1935. 5 men, 5 women. I believe only one of yours is on the list. Dave, you've had a good run. Let's see if you're going to be one of them. Ladies, Mary, Shirley, Barbara, Betty, and Patricia. Patricia's had a bunch of good ones. John's made this joke every time Patricia's been one of the names.
Patty mayonnaise, dude. Come on.
For the top 5 male names, Robert, James, William, Richard, and John.
Hey,
Dave,
I'm out.
You're out.
Obviously, no fucking taste in 35.
Life expectancy in the U.S. males 59.9 years, so close to 60, and females 63.9 years. Man, they're outliving us.
What the fuck are they inventing Social Security for? No one's living anyway.
Here's the.
That's why they did it.
Yeah.
They were like,
Why not? Start it now.
you're still retiring at 60. And back then they were like, no, don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever going to need this.
Yeah.
$1 in 1935 is worth about $19.44 today, but some of the pricing doesn't exactly go 20 times, so inflation works the other way in some categories, including bacon, which was 41 cents a pound in 1935. That's pretty pricey. That's a delicacy, man. 41
Things
cents
are hard
a
to
pound for
catch.
bacon. Applesauce, 3 cans for 20 cents. Hard to catch. Baked ham, 39 cents a pound. Bananas, 4 pounds for 19 cents. That's way too many bananas. 4 pounds.
Dude, do you remember the mishap I had at my house? When
What?
Therese did the shopping and she accidentally ordered, she thought she was ordering,
Oh, right.
no, she thought she was ordering 6 bananas and she ordered 6 bunches.
Oh,
So
great.
65
Smoothies?
fucking bananas turned up at the door.
Smoothies all day,
Oh,
banana
dude, it
pudding?
happened.
What'd
That
you do?
happened. I ate a ton of
yeah.
them. I was taking bananas everywhere.
So much potassium.
So much sugar.
I
Potassium,
mean, from my
baby.
lunch
Sugar
and
too.
stuff like that. Not my bum.
No, okay.
Oh, come on.
All right. Okay.
Okay, one.
Butt jokes.
Cabbage. More on cabbage soon, but cabbage was 3 cents a pound.
Bring
That's
it.
Bring on. Give me the cabbage.
I want it. Boiled
Give me the
cabbage.
pounds of give me the cabbage. Ham soup. Oh, sorry, soap.
Huh?
Cam soap was 6 cents a bar. Cam soap. Campbell's
soap?
tomato soup is 4 cans for 25 cents. A chuck roast was 15 cents a pound. Dole pineapple juice was 2 cans for 25 cents. Duck was 24 cents a pound. That's half as much as bacon.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Put the duck.
And then eggs.
Bacon is my foundation now. Everything
Yeah,
you're
right.
saying,
Bacon's the benchmark, by which all others
Yeah.
are judged.
$1 to 1944 makes no sense, but bacon at 41 cents is our comparative. And last but not least, eggs are 37 cents a dozen. Slang words and phrases. I thought I saw some good ones here. You ready?
Yeah.
Apple is actually any big town or city. So the Big Apple was stolen from general public because Apple just meant big city.
Mhm.
Arm in hand. Oh, sorry. Abyssinia means I'll be seeing you. Abyssinia.
Abyssinia.
And you criticize my country for
Couldn't even
years.
read
You've been criticizing my country, and you guys are just fucking
Abyssinia.
crazy.
Shut up. Oh, that's right. Snazzy was a slang word from 1935, which meant hot,
Snazzy.
smooth, sweet,
Yep.
swell, and cool.
Snazzy's a
They
good
all
one.
meant very good.
She's got
all,
some snazzy gams.
all wet means no good, which is funny because I think
And it
all
does
wet means
not
good
anymore.
now.
We're all wet, Johnny. We got to
All
get
wet.
out of this.
Yeah, we're all wet. Babe,
Look it up, kids.
broad, and dame all refer to a woman. 1935. There was nothing like a dame.
Nothing.
Booze
Different
only
kinds
meant
of women.
whiskey. Booze specifically meant whiskey here in the
Cool.
depression.
Sure.
era.
Yeah.
A hot
Yeah.
mama. A bushwash was to talk about nothing useful. Bushwash. Cats were fans of swing music. So if you're a fan of swing music, you're a cool cat.
Yep.
And last
Cool
but not least, a cave was one's house or apartment. Some top brands included Arm & Hammer Baking Soda had a good year. Armor Star Canned Ham. Yeah, that has not aged well. Armor Star Canned Ham is not something that I want. I don't want it.
Delicious.
Baby Ruth bars.
Is that
Bell's
the one you had
poultry
to have the
seasoning.
key to open?
Probably.
Yeah, I think you needed the special can openers for all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and actually, I don't know how specific this is to 1935, but it was in the 1935 article. So we're going to shout it out. I'm not going to give you 100, but I'll give you 12 of the top popular Depression era foods. So that's what I'm
No.
giving you.
I know there's a butter
Yeah.
and sugar sandwich
Good.
in there somewhere, dude.
Starting at number 12, cabbage soup.
Delicious.
Number 11, cabbage and pasta.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, that's it for the cabbage, but cabbage was all over the place
Thank
here.
God.
And our top 10,
It's a big
buttermilk
time for cabbage.
buttermilk pie. Number 10. Number 9, buttermilk
Wow.
biscuits. Number 8, bread and butter sandwich, no filling. We've had that one before. Bread
No
and butter
sugar.
sandwich.
It
no
made it.
filling.
It made it. Just sans sugar.
Sans sugar.
Yeah, like I can't
Bread-
eat this. Let's put sugar on it.
Bread and butter.
It's just 2 pieces of buttered toast.
Yeah. Not even-
Together.
Yes.
It's 2 pieces of buttered cold toast.
Well, listen to the
Oh,
phrasing of number
God.
7. Bread
Good
and
Lord.
butter pickles. Bread and butter pickles. So is that
Huh.
just pickles in bread? Is
That
you
it's
just take
got to
that same
be.
thing?
Well, no, you
Put
cut
7 and 8
you cut-
together, my
Yeah,
friend.
you cut the bread up and stuff and bake it.
With or without
Oh,
pickles.
come on.
Number 6, Boston brown bread. What is with all the fucking bees, man? Boston brown bread and chopped peanuts sandwich. So brown
that 5
bread
times
and
fast.
Chopped peanut sandwich.
Boston brown bread and chopped peanut sandwich. How about that? Number 5, beans and sausage. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Classic.
Sounds good. Number 4, banana and nut sandwich. I'll
Oh,
take
my.
that too.
Sure.
Walnuts,
Peanut butter
that's
banana
not bad.
sandwich?
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
3 is so basically just bread on everything because baked
I'm
bean
a
sandwich
big
is
fan
number
of the
3.
banana sandwich, obviously.
Baked beans is number 3.
Baked bean
Just straight
sandwich
up?
is number 3 with
Yeah.
bacon
Oh,
sandwich.
What's wrong with that?
very British. Very British.
Inspired a great scene
That's
in
right.
Blazing Saddles.
Number two
Blazing
is
Saddles.
baked apples.
Baked
apples is number
apples. That's
2.
made it on the
Okay.
list before.
Yeah,
been on the
yeah.
list.
they're not bad.
And last but not least, baked apple pudding.
Wow.
Isn't that just baked apples?
Dominating the top of the list.
Baked apples.
What the
Coming
fuck
strong.
else is it?
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
well,
man, the butter sandwich. That's my favorite, though, for sure.
I hope you enjoyed your setup in 1935 to lead us into The 39 Steps, released by Janus Films, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, based on the novel by John, is it Buchan? Buchan?
No idea.
Buchan? John Buchan. Written for the screen by Charles Bennett, starring Robert Donat, who's awesome, and Madeline Carroll. And it was, just in case you were wondering, certified passed for public exhibition for adult audiences by the British censorship. Did you get that
Dude,
whole
the British Board of Film Censors, dude. I can't stop picturing them. Some of them have
It's
monocles.
the episode of Family Guy.
Yeah.
It's the episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, it's so good. All right. 39 Steps. As always, I'm going to read the IMDb description, and then I'm going to send it off to you knuckleheads. What'd you think? What did you feel? No stuffy criticism. The 39 Steps. Had you seen it before? Had you seen it before?
No.
No.
First time watch for all of us. Available on HBO Max right now, but you can also rent it on Prime. And I saw it on the Disney bundle, but I think it's just on HBO Max. Okay.
Well,
IMDb
Disney
description.
has HBO Max in their bundle now.
Disney, Hulu, and HBO Max. Yeah.
Yeah.
A man in London tries to help a counter-espionage agent, but when the agent is killed and the man stands accused, he must go on the run to save himself and stop a spy ring that is trying to steal top-secret information. The 39 Steps. What did you guys think? What did you feel? Take it away.
I'm not going first this time. You can go first.
John!
Okay. I will go first. Yeah, I had not seen this before. By the way, I sent you guys a picture of a 1935 Chevy Suburban. I think you should look at it.
The first ever
I
SUV.
had not seen this before. And I think one thing that caught me immediately is this. Hitchcock is such a fucking formalist. He's so consistent. The name of this movie might as well be MacGuffin. You know what I mean? Like, the name of the fucking movie is a MacGuffin, which he like so famously uses throughout his career. So I am going to talk about other things, but I will just say, generally, I really enjoyed it. And one reason I really enjoyed watching Hitchcock make something so early, I could not stop thinking about the fact that this movie does not have a score. And I thought that was just so different for him. He's so famously tied up in thrilling Bernard Herrmann style scores. If it wasn't Herrmann, it was somebody doing something like that for most of his career. So in a way, I thought this one was it was exposed in a way that I don't think I have felt with some of his other work. I also couldn't stop thinking about trying to imagine, compared to, looking at the list of other movies that we've mentioned that came out this year.
Right.
It's not that there weren't spectacle, sensationalist films. They were already well into trying to do that with Hollywood. They wanted to make you feel like you were escaping. This is the Depression era. They wanted to give people these fantastical places to go to. But I thought what Hitchcock does so well is by taking this regular person in the wrongly accused scenario and then putting them in these heightened situations, going through these beautiful places like the Scottish moors and these really loud town music halls. And it just it gave me that great sensation of the movies that I seem to like so much as a contemporary film lover that I've talked about a lot on this show. I love when things feel grounded in a real reality. It doesn't have to be like an everyday person stuck in a situation like he tries to always put them in. But I really like when a true realism is heightened. And I feel like that's what he did so well here. And it almost stuck out even more to me because of the lack of the score. It almost didn't feel like it was a fantasy, the way some of his more hypnotic later work starts to kind of feel like you're in a little bit of an opera with James Stewart or Cary Grant going through some terrible scenario where they're wrongly accused. This one felt a little bit more like I was kind of stuck with this man who I didn't know anything about. I liked it. What'd you think, Dave?
Well, it's funny you should bring up the realism because, like, The one scene in the kitchen where she's like, "Don't turn on the light yet," and then runs over. I must pose in this dramatic lighting by the window. It's
Sure,
like a whole section, yeah. But
sure.
I will say, I want to say this movie is funny. Like you expect the tension and the drama because it's Hitchcock, and the tension and everything, but the humor was a really pleasant surprise. This actually might be my favorite film from the 30s now.
Oh, excellent, man.
I had a great time watching this. It's just the dialogue is snappy and concise.
Yeah.
No one's using that 30s voice I fucking hate so much. It's just, and everyone has chemistry where they're supposed to. It just worked from top to tail. And I was like constantly like trying to get Teresa to sit down. You need to watch this. You need to watch this. I'm like, and she was doing other stuff. And I'm like, it's on Max. You can watch it later. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love this.
Agree.
I love this for a lot of reasons that I'll go into.
Dave, do you think
later.
the voice thing you were talking about, do you think that's very simply because they're British and not American? That voice seems to bother you the most in American
It really
30s
does.
movies.
Because they try to be neutral, I guess, or something. I don't know what it is, but I can't stand it. And it really draws me out of whatever story they're trying to tell whenever they do it. Because I know it's like a put-on voice. I
feel like this kind of screenplay existed in the theater already in Britain. This kind of MacGuffin-driven, like intrigue kind of thriller kind of thing. And they seemed just, these actors and everyone in the movie, and not just our leads, they just seemed so comfortable delivering those kinds of scenes that the scenes ended up not just driven by that plot of this person has to get here. They, as Jeff has pointed out to me before, like when we're trying to just do scene work, if you can find the funny in a scene, like you're in. Like it's going to transcend the plot. You're still going to get information across, but it's a way to make people feel that they're just in the moment and you're not just listening to more information.
I respond really well to British humor as well. So like also a lot of this wasn't like, here is the joke, you must laugh now. It was a ridiculous situation where he just dropped a ridiculous line.
Hey,
so
you got 2 ears and a heart, don't you?
I really respond to that. Yeah. There was no man in a dress, but still, it was funny.
I totally agree. Jeff, what do you think?
I think so. Here's what I think. I think, because I completely agree with what you're saying, and the realism, because the scene that I actually pointed out of like, this is one of those scenes that I'm going to remember about this movie, is when they have the handcuffs and they're just doing the strangest behavior at the inn where it's like they're just trying to be normal with handcuffs on, and they're just like kind of messing with each other, and she has to like itch her leg and he's like itching her leg, and I don't know, it's just so strange and so weird but also so normal. And they were trying to like not be caught, so when the innkeeper's wife like turned around, they like tried to act normal and stuff.
Did you see the story behind the handcuffs? Apparently before they were shooting, he put them in the handcuffs and hid the key.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretended, just to get him in that space.
Yeah.
Of course he did. That's really funny. Yeah. So anyway, I think the realism is the key here. And of course, Donat is amazing. You know, with all of these movies, you know, we've talked about Bogart a lot recently. We've definitely talked about Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant and other Hitchcock movies, and how important it is to have that stalwart lead. And then he is great with women. Apparently he kind of tortures them a little bit on set, you know, similar to Kubrick, who'd come later. But I think that it's just, they're so reliable. I mean, to not being, so anyway, okay, my point is, I think that from now on, now that I've seen this, because I've seen other Hitchcocks from the 30s, I think Suspicion is like right at the break of 30 and 40, and I saw that recently. But I love, and a lot of us seem to always call out the later movies, you know, famously Vertigo and Psycho and North by Northwest and The Birds. They all came out like towards the end of his career, 30 years after he was making this movie.
Yeah, this was movie number 22.
That's it. Yeah, only in 22.
Yeah.
But this is, to me, this is like the quintessential Hitchcock. If it's like down the pipe, it's great storytelling. I mean, it opens where you don't see a face for a while. It's like people's feet kind of shuffling along. So you're kind of like, already you're like looking. And then the point of view is from the audience while this stage show is happening. So you can see heads in front. So you already are kind of like searching and looking as the audience. You're not just like sitting back comfortably and taking it in. Or at least that's how I interpret it. But just the fact that he had a vision and it was simple simple. He wasn't beating us over the head with it.
They identified it as a British film too, because their seats had a foot more solid leg room than a Broadway show.
Yes, there was so much leg room. Yeah, but anyway, I just want to say that I love this so much that to me this is like the one. Like if somebody's like, I don't really know Hitchcock very well, I'll be like, okay, before you get to Rear Window, which is brilliant, watch this movie. It's an hour and 27 minutes. It's got the intrigue,
fun.
it's got the suspicion, it's got the spy stuff. He goes through the different countries. It's got the British humor. Those two guys in the train car laughing and making jokes while he's on the run for murder.
Dude,
I mean, it's just
I have to say,
so much.
As they got back in, he doesn't. Did they actually insinuate the girl from Nantucket limerick, or was it just me? Because he's telling him a limerick, and he's like, "Oh, if you like that one," he tells him another one.
Is that what you think? I don't know. I gotta watch it again. I didn't catch it.
It was so sneaky. I'm like, they just fucking reference girl from Nantucket.
So anyway, long story short, I don't know if you can say it's a masterpiece the way that you could say North by Northwest and Rear Window, etc., Psycho are, but I don't need to see a masterpiece every night. And maybe this is a masterpiece in a different way because it's that quintessential not detective story, but like, what's going on? What's happening?
It's number 4 on the BFI's top 100 of all time British films.
And number 1 is it's another one we did. The Third Man is number 1.
It's also in
Third Man, Brief Encounter, Lawrence of Arabia, then 39 Steps. So it's
I saw Lawrence recently, but we have also talked about.
It's also in Stephen Schneider's 1001 Movies Before You Die, to see before you die. And I'm like,
I hope it's high. It should be high.
Fuck, dude, narrow it down. Like 1001.
That's so many movies.
Glad I'm not selling that guy a house.
Start. I mean, we've all seen. Also, the play is a spoof on this movie. So I actually never saw it when it was in New York. It ran for a year, a couple of 10 years ago. But now I really want to see it because it kind of follows the plot. Also, famously, last anecdote is that the author of this book, this is in the IMDb trivia, but it's in other trivia as well about this movie. The author of the book was alive and there at the first premiere. And Alfred Hitchcock, I think, fucking with him, like went up halfway through and said, "What do you think of the movie?" And he apparently had changed the plot so much from the book that he said, "I think it's terrific. I can't wait to see how it ends." Like the author of the book is like, but he actually liked it, even though he changed it. Like he knew it was a good movie, even though it was different. So anyway,
were you buying the Scottish accents? Because they did not need subtitles at all.
I needed subtitles for this movie.
Yeah,
I had subtitles on for this movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's an old movie, so it's kind of hard to understand every word anyway. The sound isn't,
mine was crystal clear. Like,
is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I needed subtitles.
I had some trouble hearing it. So there is, and I think it's also worth talking about 1935 when this movie was released, and he gives these themes of espionage and isolationism, and I think that's something to revel in a little bit. He was already known for dealing with this kind of subject matter, but every time somebody like that would pull it off successfully, I feel like there's something even more special to me, Dave, about being able to make something so serious funny at the time and still make it entertaining and thrilling.
I mean,
there were
I'm wondering, was it as funny at the time or not? I don't know, but it certainly is now. Like, but for the right reasons, not because you're laughing at some old stupid bullshit. It's genuinely funny.
I'm hoping they're laughing at his speech.
I think
he gets up there and has to give that speech.
The political speech?
Yes.
It's so
really,
funny.
really good.
That was so funny.
That might be my favorite directed scene. Like, there are a lot of them that are similar to the way he staged, the mise en scène, the crowd interaction with him taking on a new identity. He does that several times, like just finds himself in a situation. That one might be the most impressive, though. And I think the reason why it tickled me so much was because it ended up being funny. That could have been a suspense scene. He could have played that to where there was tension in the room, and are they buying it or are they not? But he played it for laughs all the way up to, I laughed out loud when he turned around and waved.
All of his enemies.
He was being dragged out.
My God, yes. Literally all of his enemies enter the room during the speech.
It's so good.
So really that could have gone completely differently, but it didn't, and it was great.
Really fantastic. I guess I want to talk a little bit about that. He's so known, for Scope. Yes, he's done Rope. Yes, he's done, what's the other one we did that was basically a single location? The covering up the murder in the room, not Rope. The other one that's in color. Dave, you didn't like it quite as much, but I think I liked it quite a bit. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to remember that one.
Where the guy tries to pay the man to murder his wife, and then it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I didn't like that as much,
what was that? Was that not?
I'm gonna find it.
It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna find it.
So he's known for Scope, when he's not doing those intentionally isolated films. And this one it really did just kind of take me by surprise that we're in this early period, and he still has, a lot of these wonderful sequences where, yes, you're on a soundstage for some of them, like the great scene after that political scene where him and her are being taken in that car in the buggy, and they escape with the sheep everywhere and the fog. Like,
Okay, stop. The shot from the dialogue inside the buggy to the buggy driving off, and it's almost like a one-er. I mean,
that
obviously
is
there's a
an
cut
awesome
in there.
transition.
I rewound that 3 times.
I know.
I'm like,
I literally said out loud.
Fuck me.
If Elizabeth was here, I would be like, "What did I say?" I said out loud. I was like, "That was fucking awesome."
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, which one? Wait, say it again. I found it. It's
So
Dial M for
talking-
Murder, which is 20 years after this. Dial M for Murder was 20 years later.
Dial M. Well, thank
yeah.
you. It's at the end when they decide, after the end scene, when they decide, "Oh, I know where we have to go," and they're in a car and they're talking to each other, not when they're being taken away.
Right.
And it's a 2-shot on the side, and it wraps around the side of the car, and when it swipes to black as though it were going around the edge of the car, it cuts to behind the car, and the car is moving away.
Right.
Which
And
would have
it's
been in a
fucking
real,
seamless.
it's smooth. Yeah, it looks good. It still looks good.
Like,
I bet it was
whoever
really cool
did the
then,
edit
but it
on
still
that
looks good.
nailed it.
But I love some of those,
And dude, that's someone sitting there cutting the fucking frames out to get that right.
I really appreciated those long distant silhouette shots in the run through the highlights. There were just there were these things that make it feel like
I want to take my hat off to the set builders. They fucking nailed it. Like that the train car that's obviously a set.
The train car's so great.
But the exterior, when they're on the platform and the train car's sitting there and it pans around, there's more train car, obviously a set, but they built the whole fucking thing.
Also to have, all right, let's give it up for them for sure. Let's come back to that. But Hitchcock famously storyboards and kind of designs his films and has done it since the beginning. He started as a production designer, so he thinks almost exclusively visually. He is the formalist. So sometimes you got to tip your hat to him just to be like, this guy just never questioned the shot he had planned out. He didn't get coverage of every moment. He just shot what he intended to shoot. When the train car is pulling away and the 2 dudes who are tailing them, the shot of the train car pulling away is not the train car. It's the shadow of the train car and just the feet and legs of the men running after it. And the shadow pulls away and they just come to a stop. He didn't need to waste all this time with this giant fucking master shot of a train pulling away in a station. He was like, that doesn't fucking matter. Somebody just get a cardboard box and create a shadow over here for me and let's move on. Like that. Yeah. That's just, it always blows my mind how easily he can do both of these things. He can do what you said, Dave, where the set design of something can be really great. He can make us believe they're actually on location in the Scottish Highlands. And then sometimes he'll take a macro scenario like that and he'll just shoot a fucking shadow. And just like this tiny little thing. And God, it's really impressive. And it's been impressive since the beginning. Like every time we get to go back and watch one of these, it's just like, wow. The language is just not that old, and he was a master from the beginning.
Well, and we said he's, as far as a director is concerned, he'd only been directing for 10 years, and some of them were shorts, and not all of them were good, So it's like, yeah, he was known for things, but he wasn't making a hit every single time out yet. And he's young because his cameo, I was like, oh my God, that's what wow, I can't believe.
Where was his cameo? I think
right at the beginning.
I actually thought I saw him in the audience of the show when they were at the stage looking out. But I think he was actually by the bus. Yeah. He was like outside, like by the bus.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning sequence after the shots.
Yeah, when she's like, I want to go back to your house. And he's like, oh, right this way.
Cool.
They're like the last ones on the bus.
I missed him.
Yeah.
All right. So what'd you guys think about, first of all, I liked that the Mr. Memory was basically like the ChatGPT of the time. I thought that was funny that they were
before.
Left his brain to a British museum, and I was like, "Wow, Jeff's leaving his to a pickle factory."
What I loved was
if they'll take it.
I liked the opening, and of course, you can kind of sense MacGuffin is territory. You're like, oh, this has got to come back around for some reason. But when he gets outside, it's not the inciting incident, but it's the beginning. It's leading us to the inciting incident when this woman randomly says to him in 1935, "Can I go home with you?" out of nowhere, right? There's some transgression that they're playing with here that is inappropriate and edgy for the time.
Definitely.
But I'm reminded, just like I'm reminded of the macro micro kind of stuff that he does visually. He's unafraid to put people to make the audience just assume something is believable very quickly. He did not need to explain why it was okay for her to come home with him.
Yeah.
And then they played the scene where he cooks her a fucking haddock in the kitchen, and she goes inside and like won't look out the window and has to keep the lights off. They play it so naturally. And I'm sure this is in the novel. I'm not giving him all the credit, but they play it so naturally that sometimes you forget that Americans seem to be, sometimes in American cinema, from the beginning of time and throughout, we were obsessed with making sure the audience understands every single thing that is happening all the time.
Dude,
something like this is a reminder that is not necessary.
I clocked her as a spy in the first 3 minutes, and I'm like, and now I think the main character's a bit daft.
Well, we know.
I'm like, why hasn't he got this yet?
But we know that that's how this goes. We know that it can't just be straightforward.
Yeah.
But even if it's not, I think what you clocked is your ability to realize something's not quite right here, and I'm just waiting to hear what the actual thing is.
Yeah.
But he didn't need to. You didn't need to understand. You didn't need to have a longer conversation on the street with the man being like, but who are they didn't need to fill time right there with any introductions and stuff. It was more fun for them to play it in a grounded, even though I know she was a little. That scene is, of course, very heightened. This woman's just saying she's a spy and all that shit.
Dude, not as heightened as the map scene.
The which scene?
When the map scene afterwards, they have a close up of the map, and there's just crossfades of her saying slow running dialogue, and I'm like,
so expressive.
I'm waiting for her to go like, that gum you like is going to come back in style.
Honestly,
never happened.
Very weird, right?
Yeah,
I know. Lynch was seeing shit like that, and he was like, "Look, this stuff is weird, right?"
Why was his apartment covered like that?
He hadn't decorated that area yet,
right?
Yeah,
he was only there for like 2 weeks or something. Wasn't he there for a short period of time?
What does he do for a living? What's his job?
I never heard that either. I didn't understand what he was doing in London.
I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters.
It was brought up at one point, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Well, he said he was about to start a job, or he's looking for a job, which is funny because he's going through all of his money. But yeah.
I loved his coats, by the way. Fucking those double-breasted coats, dude. Those were fucking sweet. He wore like 4 of them. They were all awesome.
You know, the one thing I really love that Hitchcock does a lot is like there was the phone call, and you start to get agitated because no one's answering the phone.
But it's so
the next time the phone rings, it's fucking giant in the middle of the frame, and then pulls out to reveal the rest of the scene.
Yeah.
And also, I love when he does that. It's like, let's make this thing fucking, imagine that on a cinema screen. It's like a 15-foot high phone.
Did you think later on that he should have answered the phone, and then maybe those guys actually weren't going to be killers, and they would have been like, "Get out of there, she's dangerous"? I thought that for a second. Of course, that's not what it was, but I was kind of like,
they do that today. That wouldn't work.
What do you think? I mean, let's not pull too hard at this thread. Like, how did she get killed if she was safe inside the apartment?
Why did they kill him too if he was a part of it?
Right. Yeah. Were they actually in there? You know?
I guess that is something that like dial-in for murder. I think was a little tighter.
Yeah.
Why is she died? And she died in a way that he could see her. She came in, and where did they go? They ran away, but they didn't run very far. They could have easily just killed him in his sleep. Yeah,
that fucking milkman, dude. That was great.
When did milkmen become a thing? I had a milkman, but when did that happen? Where we were like, we need somebody to deliver milk to everybody every day, and it's like, what about water? Nah, they can go to the well.
It's happened.
Jeff, I think you can
it's happened since man got freaky with cows.
They didn't have refrigeration, so you had to get it every day. It's just like bread. They had no way.
Why did you have to get
it.
milk every day? Is milk that essential of a ingredient?
I think it would. Fresh milk goes bad like that. It was.
Why did you need it? Why do you need milk? Why didn't you get fresh apples every day?
They didn't just give it out. You had to pay for it.
Yeah.
It was still.
Apples are so much better if you eat milk.
We needed milk for naps, motherfucker.
You know what? Bananas are good too, and those last a couple days. It's fucking milk.
Depends where you get them from.
All right. Anyway, here's another one of my. It is so British, and it's in all these Hitchcock movies for sure, and any of our favorite British scenes, favorite British movies. When he finally meets the man with half the pinky, who's the real bad spy.
Why did she send him to him? I don't get it.
What are we going to do about this dear boy?
Yeah,
and they just have they just sit there and discuss the fact.
The thing I loved.
Why did she want him to meet him? Because she was like, I need to go meet this man. But if you ever see a man with the small finger, he's going to kill you or whatever. It's like, but why is she even setting him up for that? Like if she's actually going to meet him.
No, she knew where the handoff was taking place. That's why it was marked on the map.
Oh, but she didn't know that. She
didn't know he was there.
She didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
He was there. That was his house.
But like the reveal of him, the scene before it was genius because it was like they let you in.
Yeah.
He's on the run from the cops, so you're already distracted by that. Then there's this chaotic party scene that you'd guided through, and you've forgotten completely about this other dude with the finger. And then so when he pulls that reveal out, you're like,
Pretty much.
oh,
Yeah.
that was kind of. And then he turns into like the classiest fucking villain ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Almost
leave this
Bond-
pistol right
Bond
here with
style,
you.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
I'll leave this
yeah.
I
pistol
mean,
right here with
Bond
you.
was written after this. There's
Yeah.
they actually refer to this as the father of James Bond.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Okay.
Also,
yeah,
how'd
that
you
makes
like the-
sense.
How'd you like the phrase, "You're the white man's burden"? That was pretty fun.
Sure.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah,
love
that came
when they
out,
were
yeah.
driving the car and they had to stop because of all the sheep. He goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a flock of old detectives." It's so good. But my
Apparently
favorite
those-
line,
Those sheep
I
ate
think-
those sheep ate the set. Apparently,
they had 62
Of
sheep.
course.
I love them
Yeah.
heckling the town hall. That was really funny. Hey, we need some
Yep.
extras. Can you actually heckle them? Pretend
Yeah.
it's a politician. Will you fucking? Those guys, they're heckling
and
the
Mae
shit out of
West
them.
was like
I love-
42 at this time.
I don't know why.
So-
I think my favorite line for maybe almost no reason other than "We're the Siamese twins," which gave me a huge. It just made me really. They were not good at acting waking up. Every time they had to wake up, they're like,
Yeah.
they look like cartoon characters. But other than that, their performance is great. I love was it the first girl? Who was it? Anyway, somebody says, "You don't understand," and he says, "Well, you don't make it easy for me, do you?" That's I can't wait to use that on somebody where they're like, "Do you understand?" I'm like, "You're not making it easy for me." I can't wait to use
Yeah.
that one. Anyway, I got
I
off
think
and running on this.
I'm going to say this is my only maybe criticism of it, and it's not really a criticism. It stood out to me in a film that was so well paced, 86 minutes long. This thing is tight. Once they got to the end scene, I felt like it really slowed down, and they really wanted us to feel like, oh no, there's a little bit of a love interest story here,
Mm.
and they
One
kind of
of the
felt like they were kind
Godfather
of shoving
3.
it in
Yeah.
right there,
The
and
theater and
it's. Did it work for you guys, or did you feel a little bit? There was a little bit of me that was kind of
little
like,
bit.
this is the only scene in the movie that isn't driven by plot. They're trying to tell me that it's about them and their relationship and behavior. And I wonder, there's a part of me that wonders if it could have been like 5 minutes shorter and it would have been okay.
It worked for me because I couldn't tell if he and she, because we basically missed a scene. Like when she went to the Scottish police, like, did he tell her to go to the Scottish police? You know, it worked for me because I was still trying to put those puzzle pieces together, and luckily the rest of the movie was tidy. One thing that didn't work for me too much is that when a man from the box shot the main act on stage, then ran on the stage and ran out, and then somebody came out and said, "Don't be alarmed, stay in your seats."
Yeah.
Let's get back to the show. Like, can you imagine if like
This is
Abraham
not
Lincoln
the first time this has
if Abraham
happened.
Lincoln got shot and they're like, "Look, the president has been shot, but we have more show to do. So can everybody just stay seated? The killer will find him. It'll be fine." Like, I don't know. That was a little silly, but I don't think it ran on too long for me. Maybe memory just like giving us the information when he didn't need to at the end was like a little silly.
I'm not talking about the whole movie. I'm just talking about
The ending. No, I
in
know, just the ending.
The
In the- for
room.
the
No,
theater.
not the just not no. Just the room scene at the end between INN at the hotel
Oh,
between the
okay.
two of them when they were finally alone together. I just
I
felt like
see.
that sequence was.
Okay. People at home.
I enjoyed it, but I just felt like it was a little bit long.
People at home, we're on Zoom, even though you're hearing us on our separate audios. So sometimes the Zoom audio is not as good as what you're hearing at home. So sorry. Yes, the end sequence went on so long. And I'd like to see her lovingly like come back and crawl into bed and like get a little cold and then put the blanket on. But we were also on the run for murder in Scotland for a crime in London. And we had to go to the London Palladium. So I do think that it ran on a little long. Good thing that Alfred Hitchcock knew that too, which is why when the man says, because this Alfred Hitchcock is a very masculine point of view. So the next day when he's like, "What the fuck? We're on the run. Why did you do that? Why did you take your time and sleep?" In a way, it kind of was speaking on behalf of you, John, and me.
Yeah.
That-
Why are we in this room so long?
Why are we still here? What are we doing? We have to get
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So it
Sure,
was a
sure,
little
sure.
self-aware in that regard. So
I'm
I was
I'm-
confused. I thought John was talking about the end of the movie, but he meant the end.
Dude, speaking of which, the end
That's
of the
in
movie,
North Carolina
like
coming out.
a line of chorus girls kicking on stage behind me. That is now how I want to go out.
Oh, literally the
Yeah.
last shot.
Yeah.
While you're reciting coordinates,
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
not coordinates, mathematical equation.
I'll be saying something.
Did you guys buy
probably calling someone a bastard for murdering me?
Did you buy the very final thing that happens?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
The hands touching, and you think they're together?
Yeah.
What about that poor politician that she was clearly? What about that guy? Wasn't she like his woman?
Well, he's nowhere near as exciting.
How come nobody knows what that politician in Scotland looks like?
Yeah.
Elizabeth said when Margaret, the poor Scottish farmer's wife who helps him
why did she have to
escape.
get hit? Why did she have to get hit?
I know, that's so sad. But
She
when
got
she was
hit off
helping him and he
screen.
kissed her
But yeah.
and he said goodbye and she was like helping him escape out of the coat, she walked away. Elizabeth was like, Margaret just had an exciting night.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a high point for
I want
her
the scene.
very boring fucking life.
I want the scene instead of Margaret getting hit where she goes, "Look at her life. We don't do anything. We don't do nothing. Finally, I lived." Yeah.
That was sad that she was like, he won't hit me. Like he's all bark, no bite kind of thing.
He'll pray at me.
Yeah.
And then she gave away his coat and he was like, this is the first time.
Because his prayer book was in it. That's why he hit her.
He's
And
like,
the
"My
hymnal.
prayer book,"
Yeah.
and the hymnal was in that. And then I'm not saying that justifies getting slapped, but I can't believe she gave away his
No,
best
it's
coat.
awful. That was his best coat. It was a great coat. I don't believe that was that fucking Scottish farmer's coat. That was a great coat.
Country bumpkin.
Also, if you've listened this long, thank you. But also, I want to point out the note that the producers apparently failed to renew the copyright in this movie. So it became public domain for a while. So there's a whole ton of badly edited and second-generation dubs and shit where people have just copied the shit out of it and cut scenes out and stuff. So the Criterion version is really the only way to guarantee getting the original.
Do you think that's why the fucking play exists?
Maybe.
They were like, oh, look, it's up for fucking public domain. This is going to cost us nothing. And it's proven IP.
Always thought, yeah.
Wow.
Because of the copyright issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Trust the Criterion. Trust the Criterion.
Yeah. But I mean, yes.
And I think
fantastic.
I think they make nods at the other.
I wanted to ask you, though, because I started with this. I want to end with this. It was so weird to me to have no score while watching his stuff. What did you think about the very minimalistic?
No, it's great. It's great. I like nature.
Yeah,
it was all diegetic. When there was music, it was diegetic, right? It was from a speaker or the music hall or. Yeah.
I mean, I can stay out of this one because I actually didn't notice until you said something. I was so wrapped up in what was going on.
I did because the chase sequences didn't have any. That's where I noticed it, where I was like, he's over there. And you see his silhouette. I was like, what a fucking shot.
Well, the British only have one
great.
chase music.
We know, because we know from our hit. Oh, no, get it. We know Hitchcock loves shooting indoors. And yes, he has plenty of outdoor scenes in his movies, but like he loves a set. He loves lighting a set, working a set. But that scene where he's running through the mountains and the cops are after him was fucking well shot.
Yes.
That was really well done. Yeah. And there was no score, nothing. Because I was waiting for like, I got like a little like Bambi line cam. I was like ready because it was all silhouette. You didn't see Donat. You just saw like his silhouette. And then it was just the wind. It was nothing. So
that's exactly when I noticed it too. When they're in that sequence, I was like, there's nothing telling me how to feel about this. This is just, it almost felt like, from then on, I kind of couldn't stop thinking about it in a good way. I wasn't distracted. I was like just reveling in it. It reminded me of like, dude, it was like 6 years ago that this would have been silent. You know, they wouldn't have had this soundtrack associated with it. There were a lot of sequences that are basically a silent film. There's so few sound effects that it might as well be fucking silent cinema. And it's just it's just such a lesson in storytelling. If you ever want to watch how movies succeed, sound matters enormously. I'm obsessed with sound. It takes everything up a notch. But if you really want to understand how this medium works, press mute on your television and just watch a movie for a little while, and you'll
specifically. The one I was shown in high school was the end sequence of Alien. We watched it once with sound and once
Alien or Aliens.
Alien, the end sequence.
Alien?
We watched it once with sound and once without.
Is that Aliens with a $sign for an S?
Yeah, no, it was the first one. Hey, it earns its dollar. That's awesome. A fucking good movie.
Angela and I will do that. If I get up early on a Sunday, this is a Monday. If I get up early on a Sunday and I put it on before she's not in the room yet, I'll put my AirPods on to watch it. Which actually, honestly, AirPods have good surround sound, so I have no complaints. She'll come in and sometimes I'll catch her just watching the movie silently on the screen, and that's usually a sign that it's going pretty well.
Yeah,
really, really good.
You sure she isn't just thinking of ways to murder you?
Well, when I'm watching a Hitchcock movie, I don't know.
So glad we finally saw this, you guys. This was this is definitely one worth watching. Again, it's on HBO Max. It's in their TCM collection. It's the Criterion's version that is in that collection. So get on there and watch this. Have a great time.
I'm so happy I don't have to
that one thing where they stopped the train on the bridge and they're like, it's against regulations to stop the train on the bridge. It reminded me in New York when someone pulled the emergency cord in the subway. And the train,
can you just fucking restart the train? Just restart the train.
The train came to a dead stop. When you pull the emergency cord, you've got to go all the way down the train. But apparently it was one of the drivers that pulled the emergency cord because it was a fight or something. And so he's pulled the emergency cord, the whole train stopped, and he must have been new because the guy who had to go down and check the train turned his radio right up, and all you could hear was this driver getting reamed by the station controller for pulling the emergency cord in the train. And it was great. Made everyone feel 100% better.
All right, wait. I did want to. Sorry, I forgot. There was one more thing I just wanted to ask you because I really didn't quite understand the if the shot worked or if it made sense. It's after that sequence when he disappears. It fades to black. The train moves on, and then it's a master shot of the bridge, and you hear voiceover of like news reports and cops, the dispatch, and them talking about how he's on the run and stuff. And I just thought that was an interesting choice to just hold on the bridge.
Yeah.
No train, no movement. You don't see his body like jumping into the water or anything like that. And then it moved on and he's running in the Highlands. And I was like, okay, I think I know where I am. But
for me, it basically turned me into one of the villages you're hearing a news report, but you don't know where he is. So you may as well be just staring like anything there. So like it was like, we're not going to show you where he's going at this point. Like it came back to him after a bit, but that
I really thought he was going to pull The Fugitive. I thought he was going to. You were going to see a tiny little like body, like a form, like move into the water.
Dude, you have to.
Anyway, I just thought that was kind of a weird moment,
those guys climbing down the waterfall. I was like, "Fuck, dude, they're actors. There's no stuntmen. They're doing this."
Keystone Cop shit too. I was like, "You guys don't have to go in. You don't have to go in the water if you don't want to." That was funny. So charming.
Meanwhile,
so charming. So endearing.
Hitchcock's pissed himself laughing behind the camera. It's like, I told him to go in the water.
So
it's
good.
Like, thank God they have free healthcare here. I don't have to pay him shit.
Yeah.
Nobody had healthcare back then, bro.
Well, guys, 1935's The 39 Steps, another amazing conversation, and I'm so happy that I don't have to wake up to see your faces next to me, all unwashed and shiny.
Awful, right? That's what a line.
The nail file is like, this should work. It'd probably take about 10 years or so, but worth a shot. It's so good. The lines are incredible. It's so good. Anyway, I just can't believe how prolific he is. You look at his list in like the 30s. He was making like 3 features a year, and he was producing. He was on the writing team too, and
he got to learn doing. I'm so jealous. Nowadays you have to like.
Oh, that was me. I hit
so
that,
hard to get your thing.
What are you doing?
Genius.
my left. I forgot that my left pinky is a full pinky and not a half pinky like the one in our movie, and it accidentally hit my phone. Anyway,
for now.
Yeah, if I keep doing that, you're gonna start cutting my fingers off one by one. All right. Well, people, we have to move on. Go see this movie if you haven't. It's amazing. Or rewatch it if you haven't seen it in a while. It's on HBO Max or maybe any of those other ones we talked about. But we got to spin the wheel and talk about what we're doing next time. It can't be 1935 again. The odds would be so small if it was in the 30s again.
It's actually
I'm gonna guess,
impossible for 35 for now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to guess, I keep thinking 80s, but I gotta get out of that habit. So let's go with 1994.
I'll go 2009.
All right.
Oh, I don't see it, Dave. You got to shout it out. I don't see it.
It's there.
I don't see it either. What is it?
It's 2000 on the dot.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Traffic. I've never seen Traffic.
Gladiator. Aaron Brockovich. Traffic.
I've never seen Traffic.
Oh, that's
okay.
why you don't see it.
All right, we're doing Traffic. I don't even know if we need to go off.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway.
We shall see. We shall see. Let's talk about this.
Anyway, we're going to do what you've been watching, give you a recommendation for the week, let you know what we have been watching. Dave, we'd like to start with you. Anything you want to report?
Well, I'm halfway through Alien Earth. I'm up to see episode 4. It's still fucking rocking it, dude. 3 is a little bit of a filler thing where you get to know some of the other characters, and it like the main characters are sort of missing for half the episode, so that was a bit slow for me. But 4 brings it right back, and you see some shit where you like they've set up so much for the second half, and you're like, oh fuck, where is this going? Nice. But so for me, that it's great. It's gripping. It's really getting me. And I watched Blink Twice, the movie it's on Amazon now. Dude, it comes with a trigger warning before the movie.
Oh, this is the
where he invites them to the island, to his island.
She's in Caught Stealing. It's her directorial debut, right? It's Zoe Kravitz's.
It's not a debut. She's done another one. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Zoe.
And that was also good. This is
Cool.
great, but it definitely takes a turn. So, yeah, tread lightly on this one, but I recommend watching it.
Very cool.
Nice.
I am still watching.
It's a bit slow to get going, but when it does, fucking hell, it gets going. All right,
Sure.
carry on.
I'm still watching Platonic. I watched What Women Want because I forgot to watch that.
Mel Gibson, let's
during the
go.
Nancy
Spoiler alert,
Meyers
it's not Mel Gibson.
retrospective. Sure. Yeah, I can't remember what else we watched. Something about I did. I'm so glad I remembered this. 20th anniversary of Katrina. Dark stuff. There are some really wonderful, powerful documentaries that are out there right now that people should check out. The one that's on Netflix was really intense, but I have not really gone deep on that since it happened. It's worth watching.
It's crazy
And
how
the
our
third
government didn't mess up
episode-
at all during that. We didn't
It's
make any
unbelievable.
mistakes.
You should watch it. It's 3 parts. The first 2 are the documentary, and the third one is a single feature-length documentary by Spike Lee.
Ugh.
So it's all in there, and that 3-part Netflix Remembering Katrina, or whatever, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, powerful shit. I highly recommend diving in just to remember what the fuck happened there, because that was super fucked.
Remember Mike Myers and Kanye West?
Yes, that's on there. Yeah, they show you.
It's so good.
Damn. Anyway, sorry.
I didn't get to watch a lot because of wedding and family time, which was really fun. But I did watch some Daniel Tiger. And I watched the worst college football game of all time, which was the Texas-Ohio State game, 1 versus 3, which was really boring, even though it was 1 versus 3. And as far as television content, I forget what we were watching, but we rewatched another movie that I'd seen before, but out of nowhere, Dave, your suggestion about the Amanda Knox show, which is on Hulu now, and I guess it's on Disney as well. It's 2025. It's co-produced by Monica Lewinsky, as you had said, and Amanda Knox, and it's based on her memoir, Waiting to Be Heard. It's well done, of course, and it makes me fucking furious. And of course, I'm doing Italian Duolingo, and it's set in Italy, so I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to understand a couple words here, and it's making me so fucking mad at these Italians. And I know it's from her point of view, of course, but it's like, these motherfuckers are making me fucking furious.
Even by the end of the first episode, you're pissed off at them.
Oh my God, I'm so mad at them.
Yeah.
I get why she's a suspect originally or whatever, but the fact, the way
she even said that out loud at the screening that we did, and she's like, I made bad choices. One of them was not killing my roommate.
We've said this on the show. We have seen enough detective things now to you have no idea what's going to happen when your roommate gets murdered, but we know a couple things now that she didn't know at the time. But oh my God, everything I watch just makes my fucking blood boil. But so yeah, anyway, if you want to make your blood boil, go watch the Amanda Knox show. That's it. I can't remember if I watched anything else. I have no memory. I drink beer on the show. So we're going to take a quick break to talk about what movie from 2000 we're going to watch and why it's Traffic in a second. Listen to some Dasein, and we'll see you in 10 seconds.
All right.
And we're back.
Haha.
Same time. Well, we talked about it for a bit. A lot of good movies, and I know I mentioned Traffic before, but we are not going to watch Traffic. We are actually going to watch an early Chris Nolan film. We're going to be doing Memento.
Yay! What's Traffic about?
Can't wait to see the guy. It's not about cars, I don't think, although I think there are some cars in there. I can't wait to see the guy from The Matrix also be a villain in this movie the next year, right? I was his waiter one time. Oh my God, he came the day of the Women's March.
Did he order steak?
I don't know, but he had daughters and they were wearing the pink hats.
Is Yuko Weaving in this?
We got to know that guy's name. Come on, let's not be rude.
It's Joe Pantalone, Joe Pampa. We're going to know by next week for sure.
He was like, he's their guy, right? Wasn't he in their first movie too?
The Wachowskis?
Right? Yeah. Wasn't he in their first movie as well? I think he's been in all their stuff.
I just call him Joe Pantalone. I don't think that's his name, but anyway, we're going to know by next week.
Pantoliano.
Oh, so
Pantoliano.
close.
Yeah.
So close. Hey, just fucking me, get it over with. All right, see you next week, film fans.
Sure.
Peace.